give it a little bit of like, come see the large sinkhole that keeps growing every day in Los Angeles.
And this is Sunset at Holloway, and this is what's going to have to be repaired. So Sunset is going to be shut down forever. And I made a mistake earlier. I said Santa Monica Boulevard is open. I'm going to show you it is open. Not yet. Don't move yet, Marcel. It is open, but only to residents. But that's Sunset. So I'm panning to the left. Go to the left if you would. And now we're starting to see some of the traffic implications. See, Sunset is shut down, and a lot of folks want to get to these businesses. But if
thank goodness somebody is thinking about the traffic implications.
Down Sunset, you're going to be turned around, and if you continue to the left, we're going to run into La Cienega, and that's where most of the traffic is being diverted. I'm kind of surprised they haven't shut it down in La Cienega. There's La Cienega, so bring up SkyMap for me real quick. I'm pretty sure that's La Cienega. I want to verify it. There we go. And if we pan to the right, you're going to see La Cienega. You take that south, right, and then you run into Santa Monica Boulevard, and that's where you could take SkyMap off. That's where the closure is on Santa Monica Boulevard. They are letting some traffic through, but it looks like residents only. They're not allowing any. That's eastbound traffic open, no westbound traffic.
Place you think within 47 months.
So as we open up out of the shot, tilt up a little bit, you're starting to see on La Cienega there on the left side of your
guys, La Cienega, this is going to be on the test, all right?
We're starting to see some traffic build, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Some of the buses are out, but you can tell they're getting into congestion. They're going to be delayed significantly. And here's Santa Monica Boulevard. I do believe, Philip, that Santa Monica Boulevard will be open in both directions to everybody sometime soon. There's some mud still left on the roadway. There's some standing water in some areas, but boy, it was about 3 feet deep in that area. And then as we tilt up, you can see it is really starting to recede as well along the bus route here, or the bus depot where they keep all the metro buses, the bus yard. So they still have a long way to go. Traffic implications are going to be huge throughout the day. There's no question.
Bro, it's just like, it's literally exactly like my city skyline city.
And I'll push in one more time, Philip, to Sunset at Holloway. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. It's just really going to be an extensive project. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of work to be done.
I'm going to be honest, Denims, this is just really devastating because the data centers really could have used that water. Thank you for that someone around here is thinking about the data centers. Okay? Because I was worried. I was like, I hope I don't have a bunch of fucking woke lefty losers that are not thinking about how this could be impacting traffic and how this could be impacting AI data centers.
Heard DWP talk about they just have to get water out. They got to pump that out.
So like, this is like, what do you guys think here? What do you guys think? You think this is a good thing? Is that good? Admittedly, I'm not a sinkhole expert, so it's possible that this is actually really good. Let's see here. Streets normally do that, right? Roads usually do that normally, right? Yeah.
See how full that sinkhole is from the water main break earlier this morning. It looks like they're starting to hook up some pumps there and siphon some of that water out so they could get down in there and start working on the main line. And then you can see the street that's buckled as well. So this is going to take some time, probably likely several days to make repairs.
Days?
To this section. It's right at the intersection of Sunset and Holloway. And so expect Sunset to be shut down for about a block in each direction from.
Something like this happened near me recently, Denims, and it's on a way smaller scale. The manhole caved into a small sinkhole and it's taken 3 weeks to fix so far. This is going to take months to fix.
Holloway, we're not seeing a lot of congestion as far as traffic on Sunset, and we'll start to make our way down Palm Avenue, which is where that water was rushing down earlier this morning. There's still a closure here on Palm Avenue between Sunset and
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Let's
Then you got to open it up a little bit, and then they have to assess how bad the damage is, and that'll give them an idea how long it will take to repair the water main. But then once that is done, you still have to create an area that you can completely repack to make sure you're going to have a substantial footing underneath the roadway, and then you have to put new asphalt down on Sunset. So it's going to be a long project. I think it could go into tomorrow.
Okay, we lost your mic there just at the end. Yeah, I want to pull up the traffic map. We're working on that to try to get to what you were talking about, Scott, because I think one of the things that you're pointing out This is east and westbound traffic that's going to be affected with Santa Monica and Sunset, because it all comes together right there in West Hollywood. And here we are. We're kind of moving it around to find the incident. That's really not going to help us there too much. Talk to our director, and we take that off until we actually get to the map. But Scott, one of the
Look
things
at where the lip of the manhole is. By the way, it dropped like 4 feet. Oh, okay.
I was noticing is, you mentioned that Melrose is about your best. And if you're heading north on Santa Monica Boulevard and you're wanting to go east, you'll need to get on Melrose before you ever get into this area. And so it's going to affect anyone that's going north and east or south and west, because when you start to approach that space right there, it's just, I don't know of a worse spot for trying to navigate through West Hollywood that you could have. And that's it could affect people in Beverly Hills as well.
Oh, I think it will, Philip. I think what we're seeing is everything sort of expand out from this closure. Now, Santa Monica Boulevard is an east-west roadway, and Sunset's east-west, so it gets hurt the worst. And then Melrose is the major to the south side. You can't really get through east-west on the north without going through all the residences. But it is going to affect north-southbound traffic because everybody's being pushed on to La Cienega to the east, and then to San Vicente to the west. And
there's something so funny about it's like absurdly funny, or it's funny in like an absurd way, that we have such massive infrastructure problems in this country and in on every level. And the response is never, I get it. Like, these guys, their job is not to actually push for reform. Their job is just to say it's going to be impact La Cienega. That's their job. But it's it's so absurd that the response is yeah, we really got to, this is going to be really bad for traffic. It's I feel like I'm listening to GTA radio. I feel like I'm listening to a skit. I feel like I'm listening to the City Skyline radio. By the way, this sinkhole, if you guys can believe it, I know this is shocking. It was actually because of a failure to maintain our infrastructure. You guys, can you believe that? Last time I checked, the US was graded on multiple different fronts. And I'm pretty sure we ranked C or D on infrastructure and bridges and stuff like that. Was it a D? Okay, sorry. I was being too generous when I said C. No maintain, only build new, but there's no new being built either. I've heard enough. Sinkhole for president. Dude, you're so right. You know what, man? You're so right. Why can't I hear this? Oh, here it is.
Don't sound good, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, David and Eyewitness News has learned that the 100-year-old pipe that burst was due to be replaced. In fact, LADWP called it a high priority project.
7 on your side, investigative reporter Kevin Ozebek picks up our team coverage with the sobering details. They don't sound good, Kevin.
No?
Yeah. Well, David and Giovanna, for some context here, this pipe that burst today is much bigger than a water main. These so-called trunk pipes carry huge amounts of water into municipal water systems. Well, according to the LADWP, this trunk line was on its high priority list for replacement. But 7 on your side investigates is learning that construction on its replacement was not slated for another 5 years.
It's a 19.
Guys, if you can believe it, on the 2025 report card for America's infrastructure, this might shock you guys, all right? All right? We scored a D+ on roads. Wow. Can you guys believe that? That we didn't get higher than that? Wow, I'm shocked. Bridges, we got a C. What exactly inflated our grade so high that we got aviation is D+, gulp. Broadband, C+, drinking water, C-, hazardous waste, C. Oh my God. Did we get above a C on anything? Oh no. I don't even know why I bothered clicking transit. I should know better. Okay, anything? Any ports? Ports, we got a B! Yes! Let's go! America #1, am I right? Why? Oh, rail is in transporting bulk. Okay, rail apparently is B-. Stormwater, a D. No way. Wastewater, D+. Wow, I'm not even gonna. I don't even want to see.
1916 36-inch riveted steel pipe.
And the impact of that 3-foot wide pipe that's 110 years old breaking is catastrophic for those who live in the water's way.
Right now, we don't know the reason why we had the rupture.
But what 7 on Your Side investigates is learning is that replacing this trunk pipe that burst was a high priority for the LADWP. The utility tells us the replacement project was currently in design and was slated to begin construction in 2031 and completion in 2035. But we all now know this pipe could not contain such a huge amount of water for another 5 years. LADWP operates 547 miles of trunk line. A 2024-2025 LADWP report listed 2% of them as being high or high moderate for replacement. The rest were listed as moderate, low moderate, or low on the replacement list. But it appears LADWP is behind schedule in replacing them. In its 2024-2025 fiscal year report, LADWP replaced...
Wait a minute, I know how to fix this. $100 billion to Israel.
Less than a mile of trunk pipe when the goal was to replace 1.1 miles. But in its latest water infrastructure report, LADWP says the goal is to replace more than 3.5 miles of these trunk pipes every year to get rid of those high-risk pipes. But now the question is even that fast enough? Renowned seismologist Lucy Jones says take what you see here in WeHo as a warning. And just imagine what will happen to our aging pipes when the big one shakes and breaks them.
As a warning is crazy. It's like getting stabbed and being told, this is a warning, all right? Yeah, this is a warning.
So much of LA's water pipes were installed over 100 years ago because it's the first thing you do before you build any houses. And it's across Southern California that these pipes are the most vulnerable infrastructure that we have.
And our archives show that back in 2014, just down the street from where I am at Sunset and La Cienega, there was also an LADWP 3-foot wide pipe that burst. We are asking and waiting for answers from the LADWP if that was the same trunk pipe and if this pipe has a history of breaking. So of course, we will stay on top of that. Also, we know yesterday was incredibly hot. No word yet if the heat played any role here, but according to the utility, these pipes like this one often do break in the overnight hours, and that's because as the pressure really does build up as demand softens, as so many of us fall asleep.
Oh, okay.
A check of weather.
That's good. That's good. I got out of an LA parking ticket 3-ish weeks ago by contesting and citing that I knew Los Angeles wasn't doing enough infrastructure work and therefore I couldn't see any /no parking, couldn't find /see any no parking signs at night, LOL, and I think I won. Yes. Let's go. Did we already get to blame Hassan for this or not? I almost forgot. I almost forgot. Thank you. To the chatter that was linking this, why do you want to make me depressed? I just want to know. Giant sinkhole in Japan sealed after just 1 week.
This was the giant sinkhole that opened up in Japan just 1 week ago. And this is how it looks just 1 week on. Japanese officials managed to restore traffic to the city just 1 week after a giant sinkhole devoured a 5-lane intersection near to the station. The city mayor apologised and blamed the sinkhole on nearby construction of a subway line extension. Officials and engineers battled against time as the sinkhole continued to fill up with sewage water. Nearly 100 local establishments have reported loss of business during the operation, but the government has vowed to compensate them before the end of the year.
So, why do you think I want to see this? This is just going to become a tourist attraction in LA, by the way. It's going to take us like 7 years to fix it. And by the end of it, we're just going to put some fucking duct tape on it. Give it a little bit of like, come see the large sinkhole that keeps growing every day in Los Angeles. It's going to become like our Grand Canyon. Like, why would you, like, do you think I want?
As I showed you a moment ago, all the
Okay, wait.
In the 2 o'clock hour, we continue to follow this breaking news out of West Hollywood. A 1916 36-inch steel pipe burst overnight. It was a trunk line that they say that this happens at night because that's when the pressure is greatest, because there are fewer people using water overnight. And it happened at about 2:30, 3:15, in the 2 o'clock hour. And you see right here, David Gonzalez, this happened live. Somebody trying to navigate this rushing water, and they just needed a little assistance getting by. But you get an example or an idea of how hard this water was going. But the images you're seeing right now were an improvement from what had happened overnight. We did hear a briefing from the mayor and other LADWP officials just a few moments ago. They do not have an estimated time for when the repairs will be made, but it will be an odd thing for many people who live in this area because only one customer is without water service. So you're going to have a lot of these people who might even still be at home right now, fully able to use all of their water and all of their services in their home, but not be able to go anywhere because their parking garage is flooded and many of the cars are just either going to be destroyed or unusable for the time being. But again, you can see so much of this water.
Imagine being the one guy and being like, well, at least we're all in this together, guys. At least none of us have water. And everyone's like, haha, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We did see a lot of apartments on Palm Avenue that were damaged due to the water main break. That is the road that is basically directly in the path of this break at Sunset and Holloway. But we also saw some homes on Hancock.
Letting the dog in the potential. I don't know if this is specifically, I don't know how much of the water is safe to be around. I'm pretty sure in general it's not. Bro just left Farley in the water, was like, oh, yeah, my camera. I should probably
due to the
him.
water main break. That is the road that is basically directly in the path of this break at Sunset and Holloway. But we also saw some homes on Hancock Avenue that were affected of it. And then also there was another street that is Larrabee, I believe, that is just to the west of Palm. So you have your north-south streets that were really affected by this rushing water because of the grade. Because this came downhill. It was a very steep grade from the break at Sunset and Holloway. And the one thing that we noticed and that we were happy about is that there was really only, there weren't any significant injuries to this. We did see, and Scott Reif was above it, one woman be swept away.
Fuck that lady, I guess. Also, I gotta say, thank goodness this happened in a place that doesn't have any like water shortages or droughts ever.
Or a person swept away, but they were able to get up and move themselves out of the heavy rushing water. But we've seen cars moved. We've seen, actually, David Gonzalez was talking with somebody who showed a car from the parking garage that had been parked in the driveway almost. And the person was telling us that car didn't belong there. It had been elevated from the parking garage and moved out into the driveway area. But again, you see people trying to get started on their day, trying to navigate through this spot. And then Scott Reif was live above the scene, and he showed that significant break and the difficulty that we're going to have in repairing this damage. So we're now moving into an assessment phase where we really find out what's damaged at not only the road, but to some of these apartment complexes. We're going to find out the damage phase because there.
The good news is that this gives a lot of opportunities for cops to give out tickets. So
there are so many cars, hundreds of cars likely, that are going to be damaged or ruined as a result of this because so many of these apartment complexes
the fucking dog,
have
man. Stop.
15 to 20 cars in their parking garage. And then sadly, the damage for people who live in these neighborhoods who might have stored their personal belongings in their locker that is often in a parking garage. So their keepsakes, maybe winter clothes, things that they have moved into those garage